The evening started with anticipation and excitement. Stephen Colbert, known for his biting wit and political satire, introduced Elon Musk with a blend of admiration and playful sarcasm. My next guest is a man who's taking us to Mars, building robots, and buying up the internet one tweet at a time, Colbert joked. The audience erupted in applause as Musk walked onto the stage, wearing his usual black jacket, dark jeans, and that enigmatic smile that always leaves people guessing whether he's about to crack a joke or propose interplanetary colonization. The early part of the interview went smoothly. Colbert asked about SpaceX's latest developments. Musk enthusiastically spoke about the progress of Starship and the recent successful static fire tests. They joked about sending Stephen to Mars, and for a while, it felt like just another light-hearted late-night exchange. But as the questions turned to deeper topics, say, politics, and the media, things began to shift. Colbert, never one to shy away from tough questions, asked Elon about his controversial tweets, specifically his recent online disputes with journalists. And public health experts, Musk responded, I think people should be free to question authority. That's how science works. That's how democracy works. Colbert leaned forward. But don't you think that questioning becomes dangerous when it misleads millions? You have over 200 million followers. It's not just free speech. That's influence. Musk smiled tightly. And who decides what's misleading? You? The mainstream media? Colbert replied hopefully, facts do. The tension in the room started to build. Audience laughed nervously. The banter had turned into something more heated. Colbert brought up Musk's purchase of Twitter now, X, and his decision to reinstate previously banned accounts. Some say you're giving a megaphone to hate speech, Colbert said bluntly. Musk's face darkened slightly. And some say you're giving a platform to censorship. Which one is more dangerous? The room quieted. Musk's tone was sharper now, and Colbert wasn't backing down. But Elon, Colbert continued, you're not just a guy with opinions. You're the richest man in the world, controlling massive platforms. There's responsibility there, Musk interrupted. I'm not here to get a lecture on ethics. From a comedian who works for a corporate media conglomerate, the audience gasped. Colbert, ever composed, leaned back. And I'm not here to let you spin without being challenged. The atmosphere turned icy. Colbert tried to lighten it with a joke. Something about Neuralink being the only way to survive the next Twitter update, but the moment had passed. Musk looked directly at him and said, you brought me here to entertain your viewers, not to be cross-examined like I'm in court? Colbert replied calmly, no, I brought you here because people want answers, not just rockets and memes. At that point, Musk removed his lapel mic and stood up. I think we're done here, he said. The crowd murmured in disbelief. Colbert tried to regain control. You're walking off? Musk shrugged. I didn't come to be attacked. If people want a circus, I'm not their clown. And with that, Elon Musk exited stage left, leaving Colbert stunned and the audience frozen. Producers scrambled to cut to commercial. What had been scheduled as a 12-minute interview had ended in just under 7. Within minutes, Twitter X exploded. Clips of the walkout were posted and reposted. Hashtags like #Musk meltdown and #Colbert confronts began trending globally. Supporters of Musk praised his refusal to play into mainstream media games, while critics accused him of being thin-skinned and evasive. The polarized debate reignited long-standing arguments about free speech, media responsibility, and billionaire influence. The next morning, news headlines were ablaze. Elon walks off, Colbert, Musk versus media. Who won? Tension boils on late night filled every major news site. Pundits took sides, dissecting the interview frame by frame, reading into Musk's body language, Colbert's phrasing, and even the facial expressions of the audience. The show's ratings spiked that night, with reruns and online clips pulling in millions of views. On The Late Show's official channel, the title of the video was simple: Elon Musk interview, the moment everything changed. Meanwhile, Colbert addressed the incident briefly at the start of his next episode. Sometimes, the most powerful men in the world don't like being questioned, he said, and that's okay. We'll keep asking questions anyway." The audience applauded loudly. Musk, for his part, made no public comment, but tweeted a cryptic meme, "The next day is still from the Matrix," with the caption, "You can't unplug what you refuse to see." Asterisk, the fallout extended beyond entertainment. Journalists, tech analysts, and even politicians chimed in. Some praised Musk for standing up to what they called media narratives. Others saw it as a warning sign that the most powerful people in tech were becoming increasingly resistant to scrutiny. Op-eds debated whether late-night shows were even the right place for serious dialogue anymore. Was Colbert being a journalist or an entertainer? Was Musk being censored or simply challenged? These weren't easy questions, and that's why the moment refused to fade. It tapped into something bigger, a cultural clash between new power, an old media, between disruption and accountability, between satire and truth. And at the center of it all was a man who wants to colonize Mars, but stormed off Earth's most popular comedy stage. Asterisk, weeks later, in an unrelated podcast interview, Musk was asked casually if he'd return to The Late Show. He smirked and said, "Only if I get to host." The joke landed, but the tension still lingered. As for Colbert, he continued business as usual, albeit with a noticeable edge when interviewing high-profile guests. The moment had changed both men, and it had changed how viewers saw the space between comedy and confrontation. In a world where entertainment and influence collide every night on glowing screens, the clash between Colbert and Musk reminded everyone that even the smartest minds can combust when ego meets interrogation. It was never just about an interview. It was about control, truth, and the price of asking hard questions in a world that prefers simple answers.